What's going on, everyone? Welcome back to the channel. If you're new to the channel, my name is AkeemHaynes. I'm a two-time Olympian, Olympic bronze medalist, author, motivational speaker, and sports commentator. On my channel, we talk boxing, MMA, track and field, and of course, motivation and encouraging content. If this is something that you enjoy, then I hope that you subscribe to the channel. Now, let's get into the video. Canelo Alvarez versus Gennady Golovkin 3. Now, when this fight was announced, I knew a lot of people didn't want to see it. Right? They said they didn't care for it, but for me, I liked it, right? I like trilogies. These are two fighters who have history. Some consider Golovkin up 2-0 going into this one. Some have Canelo up going 2-0 going into this one. Some have it 1-1, regardless of the fact they got a score to settle. And it's going to be a good fight. When you have two elite fighters of this caliber, it will be good while it lasts. Let's talk about Canelo Alvarez. Canelo is coming into this fight after suffering his first loss since he fought Floyd Mayweather in 2013. That is a crazy stat when you think about it, considering he went up a few divisions to fight a bigger man who was stylistically wasn't a good matchup for him. That's very impressive. Whether you've been following the sport for decades or you're just casually scrolling through, looking in this era of boxing, Canelo Alvarez is one of the biggest draws in the sport. 57 wins, 2 losses, 2 draws, 39 wins coming by way of knockout. His first draw coming in 2006 when he first started his career, and his most recent draw coming in 2017 against who? Triple G, Gennady Golovkin. In 61 fights, there isn't anything Canelo hasn't seen in the ring. He's fought so many different styles, and he's been in the ring with some of the best in different divisions. He's got power. We saw that against Amir Khan, Caleb Plant, Sergey Kovalev. He's got very good counter punching. We saw that against Billy Joe Saunders. Very good head movement and defensive skills. We saw that against Daniel Jacobs. He's got a good chin as well. Canelo was a guy who takes his time throughout the fight. He's very well calculated with his approach. He's going to chop you down each round. He's going to go to the body. He's going to go to the body often. He likes to throw the jab with the right and hit the body with the other hand. He might mix it up and throw some uppercuts and then hit the body. He's a great combination puncher, and he throws those shots with bad intentions every single time. Once he finds your timing, that's one of the things that makes Canelo a very good fighter, is his timing. Once he finds your timing, he starts his attack. He'll walk you down and overpower you with shots from all angles. Once he gets confident, that's not something you want him to do as well too, because then he doesn't respect you. The more confident that he gets into the fight, and the more he'll let his hands go, and the more he will start to impose his will on you. He's also a guy who is going to wait for you to make mistakes and capitalize off them. With his pace and his power and his accuracy, there are a lot of people who might not like Canelo. But from 168 and down, Canelo is a beast. He's tough to beat because of all that he can do, because of all the skills that he does have, mixed with the experiences of the fights that he's had over decades. He knows the moment. He knows how to handle the moment, how to rise to the occasion. He's lost to some of the best, and he's won against some of the best. Now, you look at these two, especially with the history of these two men, the back and forth, coming off a loss. You know Canelo wants to make a statement. He already feels disrespected because he's not the #1 pound-for-pound fighter, and he keeps talking about that list in certain interviews. So I'm expecting this Canelo to be the one that we are used to. I'm expecting a great performance from Canelo Alvarez in this fight. Let's touch on Triple G, Gennady Golovkin. 42 wins. 37 coming by way of knockout, 1 loss, 1 draw. One of the things people will talk about often this week, and they have before, is the age of Triple G. He's 40 years old right now. And people may say, well, why did Canelo wait so long to fight him? All of that stuff that comes with it, right? But as we know, this is boxing. It is a business. As most sports is, it's a business, right? Strategy and picking your opponent at the right time is probably something that was a part of it as well. But look, either way, Triple G is not an easy fight for anyone, regardless of his age. He is still dangerous. He's got a strong, stiff, accurate jab. He's a power puncher, good uppercut, good combination puncher. He's got stinging shots with each hand. He's a very skilled fighter. But in this one, establishing the jab is going to be a key component in this fight for him. Let's go back to his recent fight against Murata. People were saying he was moving slower and didn't look good. Didn't look like himself. Man, he's missed a beat. Look, this version of Triple G is someone who's going to get knocked out by Canelo. Look, but I didn't think that he looked that bad. Going back to my time in sport, I know certain ways how the body operates. This is a guy who probably takes very good care of his body throughout the seasons, throughout the year. If you take care of your body throughout the year, your body will take care of you as you are going into your later years of your life. He's also 40, right? I wouldn't expect him to move and to look the exact same like how we did 5 years ago. Some things will not look the same, but some things will stay the same, and your experience and your patience will get better. I would argue that while he may not have the same speed and that same footwork that he had in times before, he's a lot more patient and strategic with his approach. His timing has gotten better over the years. In that fight, Murata touched him up early in the fight to the face and especially to the body. Murata was going into that fight. You could tell the strategy, right? Once he found the opening was to attack that opening that he found, and it was to the body. He hurt Triple G to the body and gave him something different to look at, right? And once he had Triple G hurt to the body, then he started to attack the head. He started to attack other parts of Triple G. Murata did have a lot of success in that fight. But even with the success that Murata had, Triple G is still that same relentless, strong-minded boxer that he's always been. I thought it took him a few rounds to get going. He's probably part of that ring rust as well, too. But in the fourth and the fifth and the sixth round, that's when I started to see the momentum and the shift in Triple G change. The pendulum started to swing in his favor, and he started to get more comfortable, started to find his rhythm and his flow, and started to let his hands go a little bit more. And that's when he started to chop Murata down with his stinging shots. And that's what he did in that fight. And he ended up closing that show later in the rounds. So was Triple G vulnerable in that fight? Yes. Did we see some of the weak areas exposed in that fight? Yes, of course we did. But we also saw someone who found a way to win the fight despite how it started. Triple G, to me, is a winner. He's not there to lose a fight, and he's not going to take this fight if he didn't think that he could win. To me, the longer the fight goes on, the more confident I think Triple G will get. And I think Canelo knows that as well, too. So how does this one play out? I do have Canelo winning this fight. I thought the same shots that Murata was having success in, those are some of the areas that Canelo Alvarez does his best work, the body work and the pace, right? I noticed that once Triple G let his hands go, he was very winded, and it took him a little bit to catch his breath and to be able to do an outburst of flurries with the shots, but it took him a little bit longer to recover once he did let his hands go. Canelo Alvarez, being the younger man, and this is the type of pace that Canelo likes. When Triple G tires himself out from throwing shots, that is when Canelo will change the pace of this fight, increase the tempo and the work rate and the output of his shots. Triple G will probably come forward, and Canelo has gotten so much better with his counterpunching and his timing. I think he will land those shots at will when Triple G does overextend himself. One of the reasons why Dimitri Bivol had so much success against Canelo was Bivol was very disciplined. Canelo's reflexes and his counterpunching is so sound and so efficient that he just waits for his opponents to come forward, make a mistake, and then he will capitalize off that. But Bivol stayed within himself, within his skill set, and didn't allow that to be a problem for him. I don't think Triple G has that same amount of discipline and that speed that Bivol has right now. A lot of fights, Canelo will use your aggression against you, and we might see that this weekend. I have Canelo winning this fight by unanimous decision. I don't see a knockout, man. Triple G has one of the best chins in the game today. I could see a knockdown, but I don't see a knockout. I just think Triple G is tough. I think his heart and the will is going to keep him out when he is hurt, right? If he lands a good shot on Canelo, well, that could really change the pace of things. I just think right now, Canelo Alvarez is going to use the pace and the speed to his advantage in this fight. But who do you have winning this fight? How do you see it going? Let me know in the comments section below. If you would like to support the channel, there's a couple ways that you can do so. You can like, comment, share, and subscribe to the channel. If you'd like to support by way of donation, you can find options in the description below. Also, my Cash App handle will be on screen as well. And if you'd like to follow me on social media, my social handles will be on screen as well. Any amount goes towards the growth of this channel and will be greatly, greatly appreciated. So with all that being said, if you've been watching the video this time, then do me a favor and subscribe to the channel, and we'll definitely see you